If you are still picking your Chinese supplies based on who's cheapest, let me be blunt. You're playing a game you've already lost. Any experienced importer will tell you that chasing the lowest price is a race to the bottom. A race that ends with junk quality, missed deadlines, and a mob of angry customers. Sure, you might save 30 cents a unit, but you pay for it 10 times over in returns, terrible reviews, and nights spent staring at the ceiling. The real money in importing isn't made by pinching pennies. It's made by mastering the art of advanced quality control and supplier audits. Being the founder of One Gold Sourcing Solutions, over a decade and a half living and working, raising my family in China, now I've learned a few things, and if you don't mind, I would like to share a handful of them with you, so you don't get scammed and get the best quality batch every time you deal or work with China. The exact framework that I use to guarantee quality, lock in reliable supplies, and protect my clients' hard-earned investment is what separates myself and my business from others. So forget everything you think you know about finding the cheapest factory. Here, I will tell you how to find the best one and build a system that makes quality a sure thing. The first and most important thing or step isn't a secret trick or a special website. It's a change in how you think. You have to stop looking at the unit price and start thinking about the total cost of ownership. You have to think of the unit price as the tip of an iceberg. The amateur sees a small piece of ice above the water and thinks, great, this is manageable. The pro knows the real danger, the massive block, hidden costs lurking beneath the surface. Picture this, right? Supplier X quotes a cost of $5 a unit. Supplier Y is $5.5 a unit. While this may not seem to be like a huge difference, it is when you do the math in terms of quantities being purchased. The amateur jumps on supplier X naturally, right? But what if supplier X has a 10% defect rate, while supplier Y is only 1%? For an order of 10,000 units, that's 1,000 bad products versus just 100. Now you do the math, you add up the cost of returns, replacement, and reputation damage. That iceberg just ripped a hole in your ship. The cheap $5 unit just became the most expensive mistake of your career. So quality control isn't just an expense, it's the best insurance policy your business can have. Skipping a factory audit is like building a house without checking the foundation first. This is the mindset behind my business progress. You are not just buying a product, you're building a stable, scalable asset. And that process starts long before a single item gets made. Now, the juicy part. So let's get into the playbook. First up, the supplier audit. And I don't just mean checking if their business license is real. A real level audit goes way deeper. Even factories that look solid on the surface can be hiding huge problems, like secretly subcontracting your order. That means they will outsource it to another factory without your knowledge. Or they'll be lying about their production capacity. A real factory audit is like a full body medical scan for your potential partner. Here's what you look for at first glance. First, their quality management system, which I call the QMS. Think of a QMS as a restaurant's master recipe book. Is it just a dusty ISO certification on the wall, like a cookbook no one really reads, or is it a living system their team uses every day to make every dish taste perfect? Ask them how they fix problems from their past failures. A good factory learns from its mistakes and updates the recipe. A bad one just wings it and hopes you just don't notice. Second will be production capacity and equipment. Giving a massive order to a small factory is like trying to pour a gallon of water into a pint glass. It's going to overflow into a mess of rushed work and defects. No doubt about that. You need to see the factory yourself or hire an auditor to confirm they have the bandwidth. Third, this is next level stuff. Social and ethical compliance. This is often part of an ESG being environmental, social, and governance audit. This isn't just about feeling good. It's about risk management. A factory with terrible working conditions and high employee turnover is like a machine with constantly changing mismatched parts. You will never get a consistent result. Verifying compliance protects your product's quality at its very source. An audit tells you if the factory can make a good product. The next step is making sure they do. To be honest, this is where most people completely drop the ball. They send a product photo and just hope for the best. That's not a plan, that's a prayer. You need a bulletproof quality plan, sometimes called a QC checklist. This document is the absolute source of truth for your product. You wouldn't tell the contractor, just build me a house, right? You'd give them a detailed blueprint. Your quality plan is that blueprint. Your quality plan has to be obsessive about the details and must include first the golden sample. This is a physical perfect sample that you've approved. It is the master key from which all other keys are copied. Your contract must state that the final product have to match this sample, period. That's it. Second, detailed product specifications. Don't just write blue plastic, for example. Write Pantone color 286C ABS plastic with a matte finish. Specify everything. Materials, dimensions with exact tolerances, weight, stitching, everything. The more specific your blueprint, the less room there is for the builder to make any mistakes. Third will be packaging requirements. Define the cardboard thickness, drop test standards, shipping marks, and any warning labels. Terrible packaging can be likened to sending your star player onto the field with no helmet. It can turn a container of perfect product into a pile of damaged goods. Now, who's responsible for that? You got to start off doing the right thing. And finally, the heart of your plan, the final creme de la creme, the accepted quality level, or AQL. The AQL is basically the grading rubric for your production. It tells your inspector exactly how to judge the final exam. You define what counts as critical or critical defect. An automatic F, that is a no-no. A major defect like losing a lot of points, right? Or a minor defect like a small typo that's, manageable. The AQL chart dictates how many of each defect are allowed before the entire shipment fails. Setting your AQL is a core business decision that balances your standards with your budget. This is to help you understand how AQL really works. So AQL is like checking candies in a big bag. You don't open all the candies, just a few to make sure most are good. X is a no-go, not good. Green check, okay to ship. In this case, we're dealing with cups. You buy paper cups, could be plastic. You buy 2,000 cups. You check 125, just a small batch. Now, X, 0 cups can be broken. That's critical. You do not accept this product at all. Second, yellow, orange with the warning sign, up to 7 can have big scratches. Now, this is a major defect, so it's up to you to discuss with the factory whether you would like to keep them for a discount or you could reject them. This is up to you to decide. Based off of your AQL sheet, you discuss with the factory. Now, C, green check, up to 10 can have tiny marks. That's a minor defect. So if it's tiny, you can polish them up, put them up on the market, sell them to your clients at a discount price. That is absolutely fine. All right, now look, I get it. Building a quality plan like this from the ground up can feel overwhelming. To make it easier, I've put together a downloadable quality plan template that covers all the critical points we just talked about. It's the same kind of format the pros use. Just click the link in the description to grab it for free, absolutely free, no strings attached. I'll save you a ton of time and potentially thousands of dollars. Now that we have your quality plan ready to go, it's time for your play number 3, inspections. Trusting the factory's own happy looking photos and videos is like letting a student grade their own test. Makes no sense at all. It's a rookie move. You need your own eyes on the ground. There are 3 key inspections you have to know. First is during production inspection, which we call the DUPRO. This happens when about 20 to 50% of your product is made. It's like tasting the soup while it's still cooking. It gives you a chance to adjust the seasoning before you've made 100 gallons of it. If there's an issue with the mold or a color, you can fix it before it ruins the whole batch. Next, and this one is absolutely non-negotiable, that is the pre-shipment inspection, or the PSI. This is your final exam. A third-party inspector goes to the factory when at least 80% of your order is packed. Using your quality plan and AQL chart, they pull a random sample and check everything. Skipping the PSI is the single most common and devastating mistake in importing from China. This is your last chance to catch problems before you send the final payment. Finally, consider container loading supervision. Something important, but most do skip. This is like the final security check at an airport gate. Someone makes sure the exact product and quantity you approved are what actually gets loaded into the container, and that they're packed securely for the journey. You can hire professional inspection companies in China for all of this. It's a standard part of the business. And the cost is a tiny fraction of your order, a small price for total peace of mind. This final play is what truly separates the pros from the crowd. Audits and inspections are just transactions. The real end game is to move beyond transactions and build a true strategic partnership. In China, business culture revolves around the concept of guanxi, which means connections, if you know what I mean, which is all about long-term relationships based on trust. It's the difference between being just another customer at a coffee shop and being friends with the owner. The regular customer gets a coffee. The friend gets their order prioritized. A heads up when a new blend comes in and a little extra care. So how do you build that? First, communicate clearly, consistently, and respectfully. Don't just call when something's wrong. Share your sales forecast, offer constructive feedback, and be mindful of cultural norms. Second, pay on time. Now, that sounds so basic, doesn't it? But it is absolutely critical. Paying late is the fastest way to burn the bridge of trust you've worked so hard to build. Third, think about mutual growth. As your business grows, so do theirs. Share ideas on how they can improve and listen to their suggestions. When problems pop up, don't just point fingers, work together to find a solution. And finally, here is a really savvy move: strategic diversification. Even with the best partner, relying on a single partner or a supplier is a massive risk. It's like having only one road to your warehouse, right? If there's a traffic jam, your business grinds to a complete halt. Building relationships with 2 or 3 great suppliers can be likened to having multiple routes on your GPS. It creates a resilient supply chain that keeps you moving when the unexpected happens. That will be my go-to playbook. It's a 4-step framework that flips your focus from chasing cheap prices to building real value. 1. You run a comprehensive supplier audit to check their real capabilities and ethics. 2. Build a bulletproof quality plan that leaves nothing to chance. 3. You master the inspection process to catch problems before they cost you thousands. And the last but not the least is you go beyond one-off deals to build strategic long-term partnerships. Stop chasing the lowest price. The importers who win long-term are the ones who save 5 cents a unit. They're the ones who build systems to protect their money, guarantee their quality, and create bulletproof supply relationships. That is how you build a profitable and sustainable importing business buying from China. As usual, if you found this playbook helpful, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. And I've got a question for you. What's the biggest quality control nightmare you've ever had to deal with? Sharing our stories is how we all get better at this. So to the next one, catch you on the flip side.